Bitcoin making some moves to the upside over the past several hours. Will it last? That's what we're going to look at in today's video. We're going to focus on the charts, look at levels to watch for to the upside and to the downside. So if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, follow us on Twitter, Telegram, and Patreon for more content than what you see here. Let's get right to it. So the past couple days, nice green candles after retesting the 200 EMA. That's what this pink line is right here. You can see that's kind of our initial liftoff level from early January. We hesitated there before breaking through it. A nice retest and a bounce so far. So will this hold? Well, obviously nobody knows, but what we want to be watching for confirmation of a bigger move to the upside, 24K plus, we have to take out this high. It's a real clear-cut level. I would say 23,750 right in there. If we get a move higher than that, a close, right? Closing price, you just put on your line chart, and that only looks at the closes. So if we see this blue line up here, then the evidence just shifts and the odds of the bulls continuing their upwards move. We'll look at this also on the weekly chart and becomes a little bit more clear that 25K will be a big level. So going back to our traditional candles here, we're also above all the moving averages. So that is another good sign. You want your prices, if you're a bull, you want your prices above the moving averages. So by definition, that is more bullish than bearish. So we're above the 200. That's a big one to be holding on the daily chart. And after a bounce, we're now back above all the moving averages. And also, I would argue that another important zone that we kind of just left is this kind of consolidation zone. This support, this resistance flip to support, hopefully, right? So far, so good. This initial resistance here before the FTX event, that was right in here. Our initial high back over here in mid-September, and now we're back above that. So good sign for the bulls so far. What we'd want to be, watching out for is a break of this zone. Below 21K, and your red flag should be going up, or the bulls will likely be fading and the bears will coming out to be celebrating, because not just this zone, but you're also looking at a break of that 200, right? That's right in there as well. So this is will be significant. 21K. Then you got to focus on this. If we lose that low, the bears will come out in a bigly fashion. Okay, so watch for that. 21K, 20,700. Kind of the last line of defense before the bears come back out and bigger. And, who knows how far down we go. But we want to be watching for an upside. Now, another cautionary pattern to be watching for is, if we come up here over the next couple days, but we don't clear this high, maybe we double top, or maybe we just reverse, tomorrow or today or right now, depending on when you're watching. You don't want to make a lower high before coming back down and then taking out this low, giving up the 200. This would be a really bad sign. So watch for that, right? Watch for a lower high, or even a double high, right? A double top. You don't want to be watching for that. You don't want to be seeing that if you're a bull, right? Bears would celebrate either a reversal here or sometime between here and there. Scribble, scrabble, right? All right. So now let's look at some indicators to see if we can help kind of see what is going on in the bigger picture. So let's zoom in to our RSI. So on the daily, we've had a nice little bounce. We kept our lows intact, right? Well, here's our lows. We've still maintained above that, right? We put in another higher low after taking out this high. We took out this high, right? Good. So far, so good. We want to come back up here, right? Gain strength of the rest of the market as Bitcoin dominance is rising. The RSI is rising on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's likely going to be your, I don't want to say safe haven, but it's going to be a little bit more safe than altcoins for now. You can see Bitcoin rising about, 2.5–3%, and altcoins kind of struggling to keep pace, right? Going up and down there. There you go. See, on right above my head. There you go. So, anything else good? Well, we have the stochastic RSI. That's your momentum, which is based on the RSI. And that is now moving up. We have a break to the upside here, but we want to wait for the red confirmation. And you really want these running parallel. You can get some, some hesitation, but for the most part, the most bullish is when you get these kind of moves, these rocket moves up here. So far, so good, right? We want to be paying attention to that as they update through the daily closes. So far, so good there. Let's see what else we got in the good or bad. The best news for the bulls that I see right now is the ADX and the I. Potentially, we're going to cross over the past couple days, right? Just a couple days ago, February 13th, my birthday. We were looking at crossing and, birthday surprise, bounce, divergence, and this is exactly what bulls want to see. You want to see these moving away from each other and continue. Now, you can notice this jig-jag, so they're not likely going to point, directly opposite of each other, but this would be ideal. This is what we want to see, right like this, with your ADX, this is your average directional index in the orange, following suit for whichever way you're going. Anything above 25 is considered more powerful. So 25 is right there. Are we above it? Yes, we are. If you can't see because of the yellow Crayola markers, there you go. So we're looking good. Now, what we want to see to confirm this trend is this ADX really kind of curl around here, right? See this? How it's moving down. So we want to see the green kind of jig-jag up in this way, divergent. The red can just go to hell. And we want to see the ADX just continue on with the green for the bulls. The bulls would win, in a big way for the rest of, February if this scenario played out. So we don't want to see a cross. So far, so good. Diverging away, as that's probably your biggest news indicator. Fisher Transform, one of my favorite ones. If you don't use this, add it to your chart now. We've had a cross just yesterday going to a trigger buy, right? And the last trigger buy in a big way like this, we can argue that that was one, but not really, right? The last big trigger buy was, January 2nd, the second day of January, right? And then you want your parallel lines to run even bigger. So this looks similar to stochastics only because of color. This has a little bit more math involved, a little bit different weighting, but this is a good one that we want to see continue. We want to see this running parallel. We don't have it yet. We might get it at update close today. So this is ideal. Again, you want these running parallel. You don't want to try to guess that they look like they're going to. You want to wait until they're really, really running, parallel to each other, and then the bigger moves. So last time we had that in a significant way was right there, January 2nd. We saw some good upwards movement, if you remember, right? So now that is your daily update chart right there. So real quickly, briefly on the weekly, we have another more good stuff, right? Good and bad. Let's look at the good first. We came down to the EMA 8 and bounced off of it perfectly. That's exactly what you want to be looking for the bulls to continue their move, right? Nice move here. Just a, look, it almost looks like a pretty good mini bull flag here, right? Move down, and then hopefully we break out. Maybe it might not be this week, might be a couple more weeks. That would be more textbook, right? If you have this kind of bigger channel move down. Now, what you want to watch for is you don't want your flag going halfway below the pole. So I would roughly estimate it right around the 20K mark. But we could break out sooner than later. And this is the big line above is 25K, the EMA 200 week, right? That pink line right there. So that's what we're watching to the upside. To the downside, just don't close below the EMA 21 week. That would bring hesitation and a real big cautionary flag to me. 21 week EMA right there, 20,700. If you remember, that was also a line in the sand on the daily chart. So watching for that level, this is huge. Right around here, 20,700. If we go under that, we're in a spot, a bother, as they say. Who said that? Christopher Robin, that son of a bitch. I don't even know if that's accurate. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's the weekly kind of update there. So for Bitcoin to watch out for the bigger picture, we will see. If you don't know, I would assume you know by now. We had a weekly death cross for the first time in Bitcoin's history. Does that mean anything? Probably not, right? First time, who knows? Peter Brandt, the guy that's been trading, successfully for 50 plus years, says you should put almost no weight in golden or death crosses. So I'll go with that guy. Experience is, almost always out trumps anything else. So I'll trust a 50-year experienced trader to tell me that golden crosses and death crosses are absolutely pretty much meaningless. So you probably should too. So that is my Bitcoin summary wrapped up as long and short as possible. Under 10 minutes. Let's get quote of the day. Too often we enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought, by Signor Kennedy. Car of the day. It's a throwback to the Ferrari Testarossa, one of the most bold car designs ever for that time period, and still icon in my opinion. Fun fact, my dentist growing up, my childhood pediatric dentist had one of these. So I got to see it whenever I went to the dentist when I was like even 6. Maybe what's got me into cars, right? I've always been into cars. Maybe thank my childhood dentist that, drilled my cavities. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for staying around this long. If you have, thumbs up. If you haven't, join us, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon. I appreciate you. I'll see you there.